them, they allowed them against our party leaders, workers, or pro-liberation forces. So, whether it is from outside or not, I don't know, but what we face, and even personally I face, it is from inside our country. And definitely, as I told you, that they have no burden, so they may get some incentive from other outside, no doubt about it. But what I feel that our country, here we're facing this problem. But since we formed government, this terrorist activities has been reduced. Now people feel comfortable, peace has been restored. Because I feel that without peaceful atmosphere, you cannot progress much.
That's right. It's the first precondition, isn't it? We were talking before you came in about the one of the things that is often said here. We're talking about the difference between the atmosphere in Bangladesh and the atmosphere in the Bangladeshi diaspora. One of the things, as you know, there's been a significant problem here with extremism in the Bangladeshi diaspora that you seem to have kind of got on top of more in Bangladesh itself. It's interesting, for instance, that Jamaat, JI, appears to be a great deal stronger among the Bangladeshi community here than it is in Bangladesh itself. What do you account? What reasons would you suggest for that difference?
But I feel that some individuals may involve on this terrorist activists. So you cannot blame the whole Bangladeshi community. Community people are not, involved in it, and they are not like this. They are very peace-loving people. But yes, if some individuals are involved, and it's not only the Bengali community, it may happen in any community. So you cannot blame the people of Bangladesh who are living here for years after years.
Of course.
It never happened before, but nowadays, yes, some acquisition of some quarter, some people, they are involved. So it is absolutely activities of individuals. So sometimes person to person varies. And you have to find out the right cause also, why it is happening, why people join.
What do you think? Why do you think it is happening? Why do you think it is more of a problem here than it is in Bangladesh?
Well, it's very difficult to answer you this question, because why it is happening. Even in Bangladesh, we face this. I told you that because of the patronization of the former political party, they get encouragement and indulge in these activities. But now we don't give them any encouragement or any patronage. So it has been reduced, so it depends. And here it is maybe some groups or some person involved. So it is your duty to find out who are behind it and why they are doing it. About other countries matter, how can I make any comment? But we are always against any kind of terrorist activities.
What I'm trying to get at is how you have got it to a position where, I mean, clearly Islamism is a major factor in many Muslim countries across South Asia and beyond, Indonesia, as well as South Asian countries, but not so much in Bangladesh. The main Islamist party in Bangladesh got substantially less than 10% of the vote. Now, why is Bangladesh different from many other Muslim countries? Why does it not have such a substantial Islamist presence in its politics?
I told you that terrorists are terrorists. You cannot identify this terrorist that they are Muslim or they are other religion. No, you cannot mix up with it. This is my feeling. And I told you before, the terrorists, they have no religion. The terrorism is their religion. So you cannot, blame the Muslim, because
No, indeed,
in
but-
Islam,
Yeah.
terrorism has no room in Islam.
Of course.
In Bangladesh, our society is totally different. Our people are different. Our people are very much, secular-minded, very tolerant to other religion. Our social atmosphere is totally different. So, and people of Bangladesh, by nature, they are peace-loving people. So only for few person or few quarter or just 1 or 2%, you cannot blame
No,
the,
I agree with.
you
I'm
cannot
not,
blame
you
the
know,
Islam or Muslim community, or so it varies country to country. Just now I was watching, television, BBC. So many countries, they are facing this problem.
No, I'm not disputing that. In fact, I'm saying that's exactly
Yes,
right.
that's true.
I want to know really why it is less of a problem in Bangladesh than in many other places.
Because the government has taken very firm decision that we will not tolerate any kind of terrorist activities. We declare zero tolerance to that, and as because our people are
Are
very peace-loving.
Are there
That's
lessons
why.
for other countries in that? Are there lessons for us in that? Are there lessons for this country?
কি বলতে যাচ্ছে সে?
বলেছে তুমি কি শিখাতে পারো এই দেশে, কি শিখাতে তোমার ওখানে কি শিখবে এই দেশ?
Well, it depends on your attitude, your ideology, your outlook, and what we try to, tell our people that we have to make progress. Our economic progress is our priority. We want to, make sure that our people should get their fundamental rights. Poverty is what I tell my people, that look, who is our enemy? The poverty is our main enemy. So poverty reduction is our main goal, and to achieve that goal we have to work together, and we have to bring peaceful atmosphere, otherwise we cannot develop a country. Yes, we have a multi-party system, party to party, we have different ideology, different way of ruling country. So it's a democratic country. We have freedom of speech. In our country, perhaps our country is perhaps only one country we have 335 daily newspaper. Though our literacy rate is very low, it is only 50% or 53%, but our newspaper. So you can write anything you want. Then we have private channel television. During my tenure last time, it was not before, but during my time we opened it up, the television channel, private television, private radio, even so people they have the right to get the information. We have established Human Rights Commission, then Information Commission. Our judiciary is separated from executive. They are, totally enjoying the independence, judiciary. Well, our law enforcing agency, they are getting training to how to keep the human rights, and as well as to keep law and order situation under control, and they are doing a wonderful job. We have a coordination cell with all the intelligence crew, so that they can exchange the information and immediately they can take action against any kind of terrorist activities. And we already declared that we will not allow anybody to use any kind of terrorist activities or insurgency activities using our soil. So it is not only Bangladesh, we have been trying our best to establish peace in the region.
Your Deputy Interior Minister, on a visit to this country last year, said that part of the threat facing Bangladesh came from Britain. Is that something you'd agree with?
Who told you?
It was your Deputy Interior Minister. It was. It was in a visit to. It was in visit to Britain about 4 months ago, probably October. Kind of, and he talked about the rise of militancy in the diaspora here, and he said that was spreading towards Bangladesh, and there was an element of threat in that here. Is that something you'd agree?
No, it is.
এখানে fundamentalism বাড়ছে এখানে আমাদের দ্বারা সেটা ওখানে আবার ছড়াচ্ছে
You know what happened if any country, if there is the terrorist activist increase, definitely it has its effect to everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, it encourages people in other country also.
But I think
So sometimes it happened, and during our liberation war and after our independence, many people took shelter here. So they are also very much active. Sometimes they try to create some problem within their country also here. So we are not responsible for that.
Of course, no, absolutely. But I wonder if I wonder if you're worried about it in the sense that it is having a kind of blowback effect in your own country.
I told you that our stand is very clear, okay, and we have very good cooperation with British government to combat this terrorism. We are working and we are, you know, cooperating with each other. So we have good cooperation in this ground. And they are giving training to our law enforcement agencies, and we are exchanging information. So that is really helpful.
But do you think there's any merit in the point that your Deputy Interior Minister made, that actually that some of the fundamentalist threat facing Bangladesh is generated overseas and specifically here?
I told you that the terrorists, they have no border, right? Wherever it may come, you never know. But you cannot blame any country. It's about a person, group, not the country.
I am struck by the fact that JI is a lot stronger here than it is in Bangladesh. And we were talking about this beforehand. What's your explanation for that?
Well, I think if they are here, then and if they are indulging any kind of terrorist activities, it is duty to this country and this government to take necessary action. I cannot do anything from our country, right? Only we can exchange our information. ठीक है सर? It's a free country, anybody can come in.
Of course. I mean, you say that it's the duty of the country to take action. Are you satisfied with the action that they're taking?
You mean in our country?
No, in this country.
Well, yes, well, we are exchanging information, I told you. Whenever we receive any information, we exchange it, we take action.
Can we talk a little bit about the war crimes trials that you have in prospect? When do you see the first of those being able to begin?
We set up a committee now, inquiry is going on. So the moment this inquiry and they're collecting evidences and everything. So it is totally up to this committee. So when they will start. I hope they will start very soon.
How soon do you think?
It depends on them. When they will be prepared with all the evidences and everything. Still, they're moving and they're finding the evidences, and there are lots of evidences they gather. So when they will start.
What are the main challenges, do you think, that face the the War Crimes Inquiry? What does it need to establish, and what are the obstacles to its work?
Well, we are receiving tremendous people's support, especially it is very encouraging that our younger generation, they are very much enthusiastic about it. And they want that this trial should take place. Now, it's a good sign that the future generation, they want to know the real history, and they want that these criminals, those who violated human rights, they should be punished. So, this is very encouraging.
You've been accused by your opponents of using these trials for political purposes, or the tribunal. There have been no trials yet. What's your response to that?
I'm sorry?
You've been accused of pursuing sort of political vendettas through these cases. Is there any? What's your response to that criticism?
I think there is no vendetta, nothing like sort of that. Yes, sometimes our opposition, they create this accusation or all this thing as because they patronizing war criminals, they patronizing terrorism, they allow them to do politics. So perhaps our opposition is a little upset about it.
Yeah.
Because they are very much with them, they are in their alliance. So perhaps that's why. Otherwise, in common people, mass people, they are okay. It is their demand, and it was our election manifesto. We also mentioned it, and I think all over the country were about this war crimes, created this situation. They have been punished. They have to
I mean, outline for me, if you could, why you think it is necessary to do this 40 years this year after the events.
Well, because this 40 years, our country independence 40 years. But when we see our economic situation, what we found that we couldn't make much progress. Why? Because those who liberated the country, who through those who were striving for liberation, most of the leaders been assassinated, including our father the nation. And military ruler took over power, and they allowed these war criminals to join politics, to form political party, and the trial started according to 73 ordinances. They stopped all proceedings and everything. Rather, many of them are in jail, but they had been released by the military ruler, Ziaur Rahman. And not only that, he allowed them to form their political party. Even some of them become, minister or prime minister, or so. Actually, they have, rehabilitated them, you can say.
Yes.
Now, if we go through all this 40 years, what we found that Bangladesh could not make much progress. But many countries, during the same time, liberated their country, but they made tremendous progress.
Yes, yes.
So why this situation has been created? Why these obstacles? But we feel that because they never supported our liberation, so they didn't want that our country should make progress. Our country should stand by itself. Our country should become a prosperous country. It is the matter of ideology. Ideology of our war of liberation, ideology of our martyrs. So it is necessary.
So you're saying that the presence of these people in the body politic has fundamentally held Bangladesh's development back?
Sure, what I
Yeah.
feel it is.
And if I may add,
Yeah, sure.
not just what she said is absolutely valid, and in addition to that, is that the culture of impunity, because their trial was stopped,
Oh,
and
yes,
so the
yes.
culture of impunity, and also the trial of the killers, of
The father of the
self-confessed
nation.
killers, of the father of the nation, along with all his family members except the two daughters, and those trials never took place. And so that gave rise to this culture of impunity, which in a society can never be good. And so where there was no justice, there was no peace, no development,
Yes.
and the whole nation has been carrying this wound for so many years.
40
And
years.
so we need to heal that wound. We need to bring justice, to give justice to all the victims and their families. We need to end this culture of impunity. And we have to, even in our neighborhood, we have to move ahead. And in order to do that, we need to bring a closure to that chapter. And there was not only, as you said, why 40 years later? And she mentioned it was started, then stopped.
Yeah.
But even if it is 40 years after, you see everywhere in the world,
Yeah.
you're still trying the
Yeah.
Nazis.
Of course.
You're still trying them.
Of
So Bengali people also have a right to justice. And we must do it. And it's our internal as well as international legal obligation to try these crimes against humanity, to try these killers. And there is a huge demand.
My concern, I suppose, is that it's taking a while, and actually some of these people are pretty old now. Are you going to get to them before they die?
Well, the preparation have to be right. We cannot make error in haste. We have to do it properly. And it's only proper that we follow due process of law, and we maintain the international standards. And in order to ensure that, you need to prepare well. There's no point in doing it in haste and then making blunders. I'm sure there will be some mistakes, because whoever has done it wherever in the world, in each and every case it was unique.
Yeah.
And there are many lessons to learn from, but still we don't want to make blunders.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful.
Do you think we could see some kind of trial beginning in this year, for instance?
That will be what she mentioned, that we want to do it in a proper way,
Yeah.
through proper investigation.
Yeah.
We don't want to make haste.
Yeah.
We don't want to make any blunder.
Yeah.
We make sure, even maybe they are criminal, but justice should be done
Of course.
to everybody.
Yeah, no, indeed. And, I mean, there has been an issue, of course, of how they will be tried. I think the American government last week offered to help in that,
Yes.
am I right? And I think you welcome that offer. I'm just trying to explore how, because clearly the investigations have been going on for some time, just trying to sort of probe how close they are to a conclusion. I mean,
It is
inquiry.
not a common,
Yeah.
I mean, a case, just as usual case. It's a very
Yeah.
special case, you see.
Yeah.
You understand that. And also it should be an international standard.
Yeah, indeed. And how broadly will your scope be ranging? I mean, obviously initially the initial targets of the investigation are in Bangladesh, but there are a number of people allegedly implicated in war crimes who live here or elsewhere. Are those people of interest to you as well?
কি বললাম বলো?
যে এখানেও যারা ক্রিমিনালস আছে বা অন্য কোথাও
মানে
তাদের
outside country.
এটা তো পুরোপুরি ট্রাইব্যুনালের উপর।
You see, it depends on the investigation,
Yeah.
and also depend on the tribunal.
Yeah.
Tribunal working independently. Is absolutely depend on them. So because the investigation is going on, I feel that I should not make any comment.
Okay. All right. Can we talk about climate change? I mean, how serious a problem is it for Bangladesh? Bangladesh is an extremely low-lying country. It suffers quite badly from flooding. How do you feel you can? Do you feel? How do you feel that where do you stand in the climate change agenda? Do you think that the world will address the problems, or do you think that we should be looking at mitigation? And where are you on it?
You correctly mentioned that Bangladesh is going to suffer very badly because of this climate change, but Bangladesh is not responsible for it.
Of course.
Now, almost, our southern part, especially people, it's a densely populated country, many people will suffer. By our own, Bangladesh itself, we already, adopted some program for mitigation. We allotted money, we created a fund, and we are urging the international community to come forward and assist Bangladesh. And so not only Bangladesh, also we raise our voice in favor of other neighboring countries too, like Maldives, Bhutan and Nepal. And yes, we are receiving good support from many countries. But the commitment they made should be fulfilled. The fund in the Cancun summit now, so one good thing took place that they agreed to create a fund. But we want that it should be done properly, because we have to start implementing their mitigation program quickly, so that our future generations should not suffer because of it.
Do you place much store in the efforts of the world to reduce climate change, or do you think that the main focus now has to be on mitigation? Do you think it's going to happen? Because it doesn't look like the world can come to any kind of agreement on a deal. I mean, Copenhagen was
in Copenhagen we tried, but
how did you feel about that? I mean, what was the response in Bangladesh to the failure of Copenhagen? Because clearly you were in the front line.
No, what I feel that we didn't fail totally. No, there was some declaration, and we have adopted resolution. That is good. It was the beginning, I must say. Then you can see the little progress in Cancun. So gradually, I feel it will progress. We should not be frustrated. Maybe the demand was very high, but each country, they have their different logic. They are according to their situation. So
is it going to progress quickly enough for your country? Because as I say, you really are on the front line of this problem. It is a low-lying country, very densely populated.
I told you that already we have our action plan. We started implementing it, but we alone cannot do it. So we need cooperation from other countries. But the industrialized country and developed country, they should come forward. They should contribute much.
Tell me about your aspirations for a digital Bangladesh. One of the most interesting things about what's happening in the developing world is the way that digital technologies, mobile telephony and that kind of thing have enabled countries to sort of leapfrog a whole intermediate technological stage and become connected. And that is something in which you've invested great hopes, isn't it? Can you tell me a bit more about what you're hoping to see there and what progress you've made?
Well, you said there's this new technology. It opened the world, and make world very close. No doubt. In our country, in the past, we hadn't this opportunity, but during my last tenure, we opened it up, like mobile phone, open to everybody, and now most of our people are using it, the internet connection, all this. We are focusing. So it has, has a good effect also, because our people are using it. We are keen, then you can get more information, you can exchange views, you can. If you use it in a better way, then you can help your country, help your people, and make much progress.
And
Yes, maybe it has some bad effect, but we always see the positive.
What does the government propose to do to create a digital Bangladesh? What specifically can you do as a government to encourage that kind of connectivity that you seek?
Well, you'll be surprised to know that in the past, our past government, they were not ready to allow this internet connection or this connectivity. But I don't know why they were so, easy about it. But during my time, we opened it up. Now we connected the broadband. Now we want more connections, so that I feel that the more development can take place in this round. Already we have started using this new technology in our health sector, education sector, also in our business, so banking sector, even what we declared that Bangladesh, we want to establish as a digital Bangladesh.
Have you got ambitions for the same sort of
the tendering, all the tendering processes and everything. Becoming digital is also, it's not just that we're opening up to the world, and also for the people to have access to information and all the healthcare and all the services, but also creating more transparency, more accountability within the system, because all the tendering processes and other things.
Only last cabinet we approved the law. Yes, during the last cabinet meeting we approved that all our tendering process in the business through website and internet, they will be able to use it. Then we already opened the web portal to each and every district, so if you want any information from any district, you can, sitting there you can get it, even from here. Then we decided to use all our post offices, where we will open up the e-center, so even the villagers then will be able to use
all the agricultural information.
Agriculture information.
Farmers are getting everything.
The healthcare sector, even education.
So reaching the basic services to the doorstep of the people. In the last elections, she couldn't go for security reasons, for time constraints. She couldn't go to each and every constituency.
For the first time we used the video conference, yes. At first people were a little bit shy, but then when they loved it. It's a very good technology. So I had this public meeting every day, about 4 public meetings I used to address through video conferencing during my last election.
An answer to their questions directly.
Yes, your constituency.
Yes, everywhere.
And now actually people pay for that. Otherwise in a public meeting you go there, deliver a speech and you come back. But sitting in the room, you are asking their question, you are replying them, and they can talk to me. So this new technology we have started using it. So it's really going very well, and our people really they learn so quickly. I think mobile phone, many countries could not progress that much. Half of the generation already using the mobile phone. You will be surprised.
Wherever we go now.
So people can, now people can get the information. Even the farmer, what is the price, how they can get, even about the using of land or fertilizer or anything, immediately through mobile they can. They started selling train, railway ticket through mobile, and banking. Now many reputed Bengali living abroad sending
That's right.
money through,
Because it can dramatically reduce the costs, transaction costs of things. Yeah.
And then people don't need to go out of the house. They're
Yeah.
sitting there. They can pay their bills. They can.
And is the infrastructure in place then? I mean, clearly in some places the infrastructure is still wanting, isn't it? Is there more you could do in that?
And actually, it is very surprising. Our country, people so quickly they adopted this new
Yeah.
technology. It
Yeah.
is really very amazing.
ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচারও তো আমরা করছি ওইটা এই পুরো ডিজিটাল বাংলাদেশ এটাকে সাপোর্ট করার জন্য যে ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচার দরকার we are also investing in that.
We have started, yes.
And is that connected to kind of, I mean, what are your aspirations for a broader Indian-style liberalisation of the economy? Do you think that
It
there
is
is...
already liberalized. Our economy is totally liberalized. We give more, to the private sector.
Yeah.
And now we are adopting this for many mega projects and other big projects. It's a private-public partnership.
Right.
Because private sector will invest, government will be partner, but they can,
Yeah.
conduct this either BOT basis, build, operate, and transport,
Yeah.
or private-public partnership. So I feel that government cannot take all the responsibility. We should involve our private sector and foreign investment. And we have created very congenial atmosphere for the foreign investors. We offer very good,
I was going to ask, how successful have you been in attracting foreign investment?
Yes, we are very much successful.
What sort of
Now many people are
things?
coming in different sector
Yeah.
for infrastructure development,
Yeah.
this IT sector. Then we are planning to develop our railway sector,
Yeah.
road communication, bridges, new airport, new deep sea port.
Yeah.
So all these sectors we are receiving, and then gas and exploration, and also electricity. We had a scarcity of electricity.
Do you have companies which are investing in manufacturing for export?
Yes,
that
we
kind of
have.
thing,
We have.
and services, and services for quote unquote export, like call
In the
centers.
service
and
sector and
Yeah.
like garments,
that. Yeah.
there are many.
That's obviously
investors
that's always been
happening.
strong, but I'm thinking of things like value-added manufacturing, that kind of
Yes.
আমাদের সব ইপিজেড গুলো ওখানে তো
We
সব
have
exportation.
special processing zone. It is there are many investors are coming, so it is absolutely their priority. Then a special economic zone,
Yeah.
then industrial park
Yeah.
in many ways, and the repatriated Bengali, they are going back and they are
Yeah.
investing in our country.
Yeah.
So however they want, either as a foreign investors or local investors.
Yeah.
So for foreign investors, there is special offer for them. So
And who are your main investors by country? I mean, is it are they Western countries? Is it China? What's
no,
the,
it's from every country like America,
But your main one,
Britain,
you
China,
said,
India, even Japan. So from many countries they are coming.
a lot
UK
of,
is
It's
one of the
open. We
largest.
are open.
Yeah.
UK is one of the largest.
UK is one of the largest investors in gas oil field. They invested, Cairn Energy, Shell. So they are, then for infrastructure, UK has built up our bridge on the river Meghna, is a very bridge. Then many other places they are investing. Still they are coming. So it is open to everybody. Whoever come and give us good offer, we will allow them to invest.
Finally, what are your priorities on this visit? Who are you going to meet? What are you going to try and achieve? What discussions are you going to have?
With Britain, we have very good relationship. Since our liberation, we receive support from this country. We started for restoration of democracy. We, with this many, even all the party, we have very good relationship with all the political party here, and we